Third part of the first chapter is on factorising. Factorising is an essential skill in A-level mathematics. You need to get very, very good at it very quickly. Let's just go through the examples. Example 6 then. This deals with all expressions that can be factorised into a single bracket. So A has 3x plus 9. So what we're trying to do here is look for the highest common factor of 3x and 9, the separate terms. So essentially what goes into both 3x and 9 exactly? Well, there's no x term, there's no x part to the second term, so it's only going to be the number. So what goes, the highest common factor of 3 and 9 is obviously 3. And then you just say to yourself, well, what times 3 by to get 3x? X. What times 3 by to get 9? 3. B, x squared minus 5x. Well, there's no number, well there is a number, it's 1, but the only thing that's going to go into 1 and 5 is 1, so just don't bother with that. But if we look at the terms, what goes into both x squared and x? Well, x does, so we can pull x out, and then watch times x by to get x squared, x, watch times x by to get 5x, 5. C, 8x squared plus 20x. So we'll first look at the coefficients, 8 and 20. The highest common factor of those is 4. It's the biggest number that fits into both. X squared and x, well, x fits into them both. And then watch times 4x by to get 8x squared. Well, 4 times 2 is 8. X times x is x squared. Watch times 4 by to get 20, 5. Watch times x by to get x, well, just 1, so I'll just leave it. D, 9x squared y plus 15xy squared. Okay, so let's deal with the coefficients first. Highest common factor of 9 and 15 is 3. And then if we look at the x part, you've got x squared and x, so the biggest thing that goes into both is x. Y and y squared, biggest thing that goes into both is y. So then, what do we times this by to get this? Well, 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared, and we've already got the y. So what times by this gives us this? 3 times 5 is 15. X, I've already done, and y times y is y squared. And E, 3x squared minus 9xy. Okay, so both got coefficients in both terms. So highest common factor of 3 and 9 is 3. X squared and x is just x. There's no y part here, so you can't take anything to do with y out. Watch times 3x by to get 3x squared. X, take away. Watch times 3 by to get 9, 3. X is dealt with, but you need a y. Okay, right. Example 7, quadratics. So, firstly, we have to factorise x squared minus 5x minus 6. Now, this is a quadratic with 3 terms. It's definitely going to go into 2 brackets. And those 2 brackets are going to start off with x, because x times x is x squared, that's how we get the lead power. To find out what goes here and here, we need to think of 2 numbers. Those 2 numbers must multiply to give us this, must add together to give us this. So always start off by thinking about different combinations that make 6, because you've got 6 and 1, 3 and 2, they're your only options. Because it's minus 6, one has to be a plus, one has to be a minus. So think about all the possible combinations. You've got minus 6 and 1, 6 and minus 1, minus 3 and 2, 3 and minus 2. There are only 4 possibilities. So you need to go through those 4 possibilities and see which of them combines together, add together to give you minus 5. It's actually the top one straight away. But the more of these you do, the better at them you'll get. It's just practice. P, x squared plus 6x plus 8. So again, we know it's going to go into 2 brackets because you've got a quadratic with 3 terms. there's got to be an x and an x. And we need two numbers that multiply together to give me positive 8 and add together to give me positive 6. So think about 8 and 1, and 4 and 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. Doesn't matter which way around you write the brackets either. C's are quite a bit harder. When the coefficient of x squared is at 1, it does take a massive ramp in difficulty. First thing to check, can you simplify them? Say, are all these numbers even? And then we could simplify it. I can't, so I'm going to have to go with 6x squared. And what you have to do here first is multiply the first number and the last number together. And that gives you minus 60. And then we need two numbers that times together to give me minus 60. And those same two numbers have to add together to give me minus 11. So it's very similar to what we were doing in the previous two parts of this example, A and B, just with the added part of multiplying the first and the last term together. It's effectively what I was doing here, because this first term was a 1. 1 times minus 6 is minus 6. So you times together to make minus 6. 6 times minus 10 is minus 60. You times together to make minus 60. I was dealing with bigger numbers, so it's going to be more difficult to spot which numbers work. So for example, 10 and 6 ain't going to work. 15 and 4. So if I do minus 15 times positive 4 is minus 60. Minus 15 plus 4 is minus 11. Now what you do with these numbers is split up this middle term. So it's 6x squared and minus 10. But instead of writing minus 11x, instead I'm going to write minus 15x plus 4x. So you split the middle term by these two numbers. What we then do is put those four terms into a multiplication grid. 6x squared, quadratic, x squared term top left, number bottom right, the two x terms here and here. It doesn't really matter which way around those two go. And what we're trying to today is what times together gives us this. Now this is an awkward one because 6x squared, you've got a couple of possibilities. It could be 3x and 2x or 6x and x. Those then numbers are going to multiply together with something else to make minus 15x, 4x. And you just need to play around with it until you spot the solution. So it can't be 6x and x because 6x doesn't fit into 15x, 6x doesn't fit into 4x, it has to be 3x and 2x. This can't be 3x because 3x doesn't fit into 4x, so it has to be 3x and 2x. Those are the only possibilities. And what you times 3x by to get minus 15x? Well, minus 5. What you times 2x by to get 4x? 2. Just check this one works. Minus 5 times 2 is minus 10. It works. So it's quite a long process. But it's 3x plus 2. 2x take 5. Now with practice, you can factorise this straight to this using a similar method to A and B, just by practice. Because you know these first two terms are going to have to make combine together, times together to make 6x squared. So you haven't got a lot of options. Let's say practice. Okay, D. X squared take away 25. Now you need to look out for these because I absolutely love these. It's like their favourite thing in the whole wide world ever. This is an example of what's called difference to two squares. It's a difference of two things that are squared. The one thing to spot out for is if it's numbers, this will be a square number because I'm going to rewrite it as x squared minus 5 squared. Difference of two things that have been squared. Now the general rule for this, if you've got a squared minus b squared, then it goes into two brackets. It's a plus b, a minus b. So the same thing in both brackets, except one's a plus, one's a minus. So D is going to be x take 5, x plus 5. Remember, this order doesn't matter. You put the plus here and the minus here, but one's got to be a plus and one's got to be a minus. A little bit more difficult. 4x squared minus 9y squared. Now, remember, it's difference to two squares. You need to think what squared is all of this. So it's 2x all squared minus 3y all squared. Difference of two things that are squared. So exactly the same in the two brackets. 2x and 3y. One's a plus, one's a minus. Doesn't matter about the order. Example 8. We've got x cubed minus 2x squared. Okay, we're trying to factorise it. So firstly, what's the biggest thing that fits into both? There's no number here other than 1, so forget about that. But what goes into x cubed and x squared? Well, x does, yes, but x squared is bigger and fits into both. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 2 is 2x squared. D, x cubed minus 25x. So again, 1 here, so forget about the numbers. What's the biggest thing that fits into x and x cubed? Well, just x this time. X times x squared is x cubed. X times 25 is minus 25x. Last one. X cubed plus 3x squared minus 10x. Okay, for this one, because we've got an x, it looks like a quadratic like we were doing in C in the last example, but it's not quite because we've got x's in all of them. And because we've got x in all three terms, we can actually take x out straight away. And then you can treat this how we solved A and B. So we know it's going to go into two brackets, x, x. We need to think of two numbers that times together to make the last part, add together to make the coefficients of B. So what times together to make minus 10? So you've got 10 and 1, or 5 and 2. And then 5 and 2 have got a difference of 3, so it's definitely going to be that. Or plus 5, take away 2. 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. 5 take 2 is 3. It just comes with practice. The more of them you do, the better you'll get. So that's all the examples up to exercise 1C. So crack on with that.